fellas, welcome to the garage. Well, I'm back here working on the Sierra Sapphire project. As you see here, I started tearing it apart. I got some junk outside of the trunk, and now I'm just getting around removing the engine. Removing the engine in these cars, really it's no big deal, but I will still show you around just so you see how nice these cars are to work on. So far I have removed the prop shaft down here, so what we're gonna do is pull the engine out along with the gearbox still bolted onto it. That's the easiest way to do it. So again, prop shaft removed from the gearbox. Of course I removed all these wiring here, all the connectors. There aren't many really, but yeah, we have to plug all the connectors for all the sensors off. Down there we have the crankshaft position sensor, which I have also taken out. Then I removed the lambda sensor. You know, I have previously run this engine also on a standalone ECU on Speeduino, of course, to try getting a better fuel consumption. I've played around with ignition tables and fueling, but yeah, I was kind of disappointed. No matter what I've done, I still couldn't get below 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers. And I'm talking about very slow and careful driving. So yeah, it didn't classify even as a daily with this engine. As I said before, this engine has one single big injector here. It is low resistance, which I had, to wire in some resistors to work with the standalone ECU. Besides that, it is a low pressure injector. That means that the pressure in this fuel rail, let's say, is low, 1.5 bar if I recall correctly. So yeah, it's far from ideal. Besides that, with the LSD differential in the back of a V6 engine, the gearing wasn't suitable for this engine as well, so I think this is also a big part of this engine not performing very well. But yeah, it is what it is. Now let's take it out. The far easiest way to pull an engine off of these cars, we're talking Sierras, is by disconnecting everything and just pulling the engine, the gearbox and the subframe along with it as well. So we do have to simply disconnect the fuel wires, the electrical wires, and this steering column here. That's pretty much it. Here the exhaust is very short, so this won't bother us. I've also removed these brake calipers, so I don't have to brake the lines, so I won't have to bleed the brakes, Let me lift the car up and I'll show you how it looks from underneath. Okay, so I have unbolted the coilovers from the upper side here and also removed these brake calipers. As you see here, this will stay in place, on the car. I did remove this sway bar brackets here, so this will go everything together along with the engine down. Or yeah, rather stay down and the car will go up, right? The prop shaft is removed. I've also removed the rubber thing from the upper side, so the gear stick will be able to just slide out. And then we have this bracket here, which I also unbolted almost all the way. So now what we're gonna do is just let the car down. Don't let me down. Now we're gonna lower the car, maybe just put something under this subframe here and maybe here under the gearbox, and then just unbolt everything, this bracket, these two bolts here, so this will fall down, and of course here, this subframe, which is held by just 4 bolts here, this one, and on the other side as well, here and here. So all of this will stay on the ground, and yeah, we'll just lift the chassis up. Alright, we did it! The engine is out! Now we'll have to put the front cross member up on the car again, just so we can have it on all four wheels and we can push it around. The assembly process is the same as the disassembly process, just in reverse. The engine is indeed outside of the car. Now I'll have to get rid of this one as soon as possible. If you want it, just come and pick it up. I'm tired of dealing with this one. We'll figure something out. Anyways, we've installed the cross member back on. So now I'll just have to put on some wheels and push the car into the other office, so I get to cutting and grinding the rust away. Before that, I will have to remove some interior, so I don't start a fire again, cutting and grinding and welding it. But yeah, pretty much that will be the next step. I will have to eliminate and sort out all the rust down there, and then we'll carry on. If you like this kind of content and want to follow along with the Sierra project and all the other projects on the channel, go ahead, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell so you'll be up to speed with everything that's going on here. And that's all I got for you today. See you in the next one. Be good!